I'm not greater wisdom. I'm greater power. All right. I hit things hard. All right. Oh, there he is. C'est parfait. Il est ici. On peut commencer un moment, s'il vous plaît.
Stop speaking to me in tongues.
You mean French? How about you learn a romance language, you loser? Here we go.
Let me tweet this up. Say hi to YouTube. This will be on YouTube later. We gotta talk about Kurigam just being an actual bully because she's just not very nice. Like we all saw it coming. We all saw it coming. I think at this point we're used to the abuse, but like, my shtick for the day, I think she's just mean and likes to see us crying. She's a bully and a meanie, and that I'm not.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. The way she described and put Jambavan's death was that shit was evil. That shit is a depraved individual wrote that.
What's up with her?
The fact that this bitch literally drew Jambavan looking all nice and cute, standing in the middle of a circle of people about to murder her with no idea that it was going to happen, allegedly, is insane.
Yeah, I do have to say this. Like this might sound bad, but I'm glad it was quick and painless. That was like the saving grace. I know, but like, there's a part of me like, damn, it's over so fast. But I'm like, I thought it'd be like just drawn out. Like, I don't want to see that. I was like, all right, one swipe and it's over. But, yeah, she's not nice, man. She's a meanie. She's a mean ball and a mean head, and I'm not getting off this until
a stupid face.
Yeah, Meangom is her name. Okay,
not nice Gom.
Exactly. But okay, I'm pulling the chapter here real quick. But Miles, what do you think of the chapter, generally speaking? Before I hop into anything specific. Was you there? Miles?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, now.
Can you hear me? You can hear me now?
You're...
Can I be heard through the ether, the void?
Through the grapevine, yes, sir.
What's sad? It's very sad. It's an exceptionally sad chapter. I don't enjoy seeing Yaksha being depressed because his fucking mate just got fucking bodied by 8 fucking nests.
Jumped. Literally jumped.
Like, this shit's fucking terrifying. Like, I like Jamby. That's my girl. Like,
I think what's really sad about it, too, on top of, like, obviously her just being, like, a nice person and stuff, is, like, it really accomplished nothing. Like, there was no reason for this. like, I really like the part where Shuri is kind of like, I guess you could say, I don't know if placate's the word I want to use, but she's talking to Yaksha. And they're like, yeah, you just get married right now. That will be great. And the way she looked at them niggas, she was disgusted. She was done. At that moment, she's like, I can't be here anymore. I'm trying to find it right here. But I was like, oh my God. I think... and Hanuman being like, where are you going? My coochie? No! I said there's no way he's tweaking over there like that. Hanuman stock dropped. But okay, so right here.
That I never acquired.
Right? Jambavan or Beppo? Come on, man. That's not even a competition.
Beppo?
Right?
Who said that?
Right?
Who said that?
You can't bat him. He has a sword. He's too powerful.
Take his sword away. Get him out.
I have 2 mods that do work. I can't do that.
He has to leave the Jedi Order and place his lightsaber in the stone in the middle of the council room. Get him out of here.
Was he ever on the council? Was he ever a master? He could have been on the council.
Anakin thing?
Anakin, man.
What was he, a master but not on the council? Was he on the council but not a master?
On the council but not a master.
Council, no master. That's what it was.
Yeah. But right here, like, endless division will not cease until I become your mate. Then if you become his mate right now, that would be, look at her face, bro. She is not having it here.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. I do think, obviously, because Yaksha kind of was just chilling for a long time, Shuri being just in the position definitely got, like, that, like, people's champ vibe. But was there also, like, was this... I thought it was implied also that, like, she has some... I don't want to say, like, some transcendental, but almost like a passive charm effect. Kind of like how like in Eastern storytelling, they always like having charm, like with like divine foxes or like fox like abilities. Did she like can she just unintentionally like passively charm people?
Shuri.
Yeah.
It seems like some people could. Garuda didn't seem to be. I don't know. I don't know
Because
if
it
it.
seemed like it went beyond just veneration of like, oh, you're here all the time as a king. Like it seemed like kind of not like mind controlly, but like what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of
I
like
know
as
it.
if they were put a
No,
spell on her.
I can give a good example. It's like Spider Woman pheromones, constantly exuding that make people attracted to her.
Yeah, there you go.
My goat, Jessica Drew. If only she had good writing. But I
There you
digress.
go.
Yeah, let's not get into that. But
That's what it kind of seemed like.
I was
Be-
already like, yeah, nah.
because even the way they speak of even looking towards Shuri and like acting like in front of Yaksha seems out of the realm of just natural. I like you a lot. Like it seems like their bodies or like even the way they think just can't like not have Shuri be like their number one like
mm,
they're just ultimate fangirls.
it's like it's like her beauty and their reverence towards her just exceeds everything to the point where like they didn't even care about Yaksha like that. They're just like mesmerized. And I don't know if you can turn it on or off or anything of the sort, but I don't think she can control it, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
that's what it seems
I do
like.
think there's some minds for whatever reason are powerful enough to resist it. Because Garuda does
Yes.
comment on you having like a weird level of charm or something, but he didn't seem to like. So I don't know if he had to physically resist it or mentally resist it, or he just like I don't know, you're not my type, I don't, or you're not my client, I don't give a fuck. But it's interesting to think about because there's a lot of moving parts like that. So, um, but it was shit. What was I going to say about Jambavan? Would you argue that despite not knowing the character for like the character's been in what 2 chapters, I guess, she did a good job, I think, making us feel something.
Yeah.
All things
Yeah,
considered.
I was literally thinking about that. I was like, is this one of those circumstances of like the way it happened was so sad that you automatically resonate, or is there also like a combination kind of like since we know how cruel shrews are, just even seeing the kindness leaves such a huge impact, like off rip
Mhm.
and stuff like that. Like I was like, if I saw Jamie earlier on in the series, would I have cared as much?
Part of me wonders if like I would say like the job was well done, all things considered,
Yes,
right?
I agree.
But sometimes I have to wonder, is it just because I am generally much more emotionally invested in this story from top to bottom that I felt it more? And maybe if I was more of a passing enthusiast, I would have treated it kind of like a not to mention Yaiba spoilers, but like a Rengoku kind of thing. You know, I wonder about
Hmm.
that sometimes. But then again, I can think about stories that I do like, and they bring a character, and I'm like, I love this story, but I didn't give a fuck about that person at all. So it's tough to judge, I guess. What do you think, Lam?
That bitch raw. Bear season. What are we talking about?
There's a raw as fuck.
But I don't even think the sadness is what makes Jambavan good.
Mm-hmm.
I
You
think
think
what
it's
makes her good is her
no,
discussion with Shippy in the last chapter.
okay? The
And
kind fox.
also the way I think there's more to this death than appears on the surface. And I think Jambavan is partially responsible for that, but we can probably get into that a little later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like this is. I don't know. We haven't seen Yaksha's, but it seems like this is going to be really parallel to how the exact way like Yaksha kind of died.
You think so?
So we still, yeah, because we don't like know. I mean, we know. I think the only things that we do know is that seemingly Ashura killed him with the help of Chandra, but there seem to be like other extenuating circumstances of like. I think there's like some implication that he was like trying to also help humans or do something, and like his kindness was used against him in his death. I could be misremembering
his
though.
love for. I think I remember a line saying something like his love for humans betrayed him. Something of the sort. Something I can't remember the line verbatim, but something along those lines. I think it's just Jambavan being one of the outliers in their sewer nature itself makes you like her easily. That's actually a good point because they never come across as just genuine and this kind and compassionate off rip like that. Yaksha was one of the rare ones. That's a good point. Because even as much as we love Maruna, he was not like this at the beginning. Right? So I think that's a good point. She is still an outlier among Sura, so she probably stood out in that way. That's a good point.
Also, Shuri's. I just want to say Shuri's like half transformation state looks kind of raw, even though we didn't get to see all of it. It looks clean.
The fury, the comment behold the fury or the wrath of the eight of all of Shuri's tales. I like that. That was kind of funny in the blog post or something. I can't remember the line was, but that was pretty cool. But I do want to get to the part with like, how did you guys take Shuri's emotional state and mental state after like what happened? Because I thought that was part of the chapters from a character standpoint that was pretty profound. Because again, we talked about the futility of what happened. Like, first of all, she was in number 2, goofy, dumb. They're like, oh, right? You killed the king's mate, goofy, dumb. And sure, you don't want anything to do with like Yaksha in that sense. You're like, all right, you can kill me. I'll be your mate if you want me to. But if you don't want any of that, I'm leaving. And I just thought it was interesting because even as they were like trying to compliment her, like we're sorry, blah blah blah. The way she looked at them, it was like in disgust. And for some reason, I can't 100% pinpoint what her like general demeanor, personality, and personal ambience is in like the present time. I think she went somewhere with Vishnu, right? She has been missing for a while.
Yeah,
she went missing during the cataclysm.
Has she changed? Like is she different from what we saw kind of briefly present time? I don't recall. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
She's a little bit more motherly, at least with Yuta.
Yeah. Okay. And also, she's very trusting in Vishnu, and you can see that because she's been treating with the primevals at the end of this chapter. I'd say, in terms of her disposition overall, the course of these chapters, I think it's pretty clear where her arc is. I think that if Jambavan had been killed earlier in the universe, Shuri would have actually tried to woo Yaksha despite how old he was and not have been tsundere about it. And because she was seeking attention all over the place in the first chapter. Like, we even see that she's going after dudes like Shiva for attention.
Yes.
And she revels in it. By the time by the time Jambavan and her like start interacting right before shortly their death, Shuri seems a little bit sort of tired of it. Like, she lets them be around her and talks to them, but she's not like fiending for attention like she used to. She's just kind of grown sort of used to it, and it's like a complacency thing. That's why I think she started going down and speaking with humans in that other form as like a hobby, because she wanted to do something different. And then after this, it's just she becomes way more pro-human, probably because of Jambavan, way anti being around Yaksha clan members, Jambavan, and then also being more motherly, which is also probably Jambavan's influence.
Yeah.
And the whole, I think that one discussion about how Jambavan knew that she was inherently a kind person is extremely important to this.
Yeah, I think it ties the Vishnu knot really nicely too, because now we know why she's with Vishnu and why she built
the Garuda knot as well.
Yeah,
her being that as well. Garuda. I think probably after this, so the way he treated her, she probably liked the fact that he wasn't easily charmed by her or not charmed at all.
Yeah, and because we know she was trying to like probably cozy up to Vishnu for like a thing, we know why she's also friends with Gandhi, because Vishnu made them be friends. At least I assume it would be the same with Garuda, but Shuri didn't like Gandhi, and neither did Vishnu, but he did it for just like the sake of a potential good future. So she probably just went along with that too, just for that sake, even though she didn't like him. It's just nice getting these confirmations along the way. Though I remember there was a specific thing with Shuri and Yuta. I'm trying to remember the dialogue. Glenn, do you remember when she like explains what a king is to Yuta?
No, I don't. That was season 1 stuff. It's been too long since I've read that.
I'm trying to remember what she said, because it was kind of important.
Wait, what did he say?
I think it was about like controlling your emotions or something.
Garuda wasn't charmed by Shuri, but fell for a Taraka Kali. He's on serious. Hold on.
He has Vinata.
He might just be wired a little differently, man. Come on. You guys know.
Hey, listen.
It's all about what's on the inside. Guys.
I'm gonna say it. The bird bitches over the dog bitches so far. That's all I'm saying.
You know me, I fuck with no Suras.
Uh,
No.
I actually, I'm rocking with my Gotchas.
You have Shuri and everybody else is mid. You're getting hard carried.
I got Woman Hanuman. I got Adult Johnny.
Cap, stop
I'm
it.
good. I'm good. I'm chilling.
Woman
Chilling.
Hanuman. Get out of here.
I like my women aggressive. What can I say?
What did you guys in chat? I want your opinion on this too, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna laugh in the live reaction, because I'm pretty sure I overthought this. What did you guys think of the part with the dream, where he was thinking about killing them over and over, but it almost felt like it was deja vu, like he's done that already. Like that, for some reason, it seemed significant. Was that like possible universes he was tapping into, or
That's what
possibilities,
I took.
or like? Okay, go ahead.
That's what I took. I took it as a Nata was like at that time going crazy, like changing universes, and like I don't know if it's because Yaksha's so strong because he's a king, and like he has like some level of recognition of like the changes on like a subconscious level. That's kind of how I took it. I took it like a Nats is like this was a Nats like back in the day when he's changing, when he's doing the let me move the banana 1 second to the left and see what the butterfly effect ramifications are type shit. Like
I took it completely differently. This goes into my thoughts of why Jambavan I think is so important. I think she legitimately saw her death coming in one way or another and realized it was ultimately good for the future that she does die. I think that she had some sort of vision of the future for this. Because she's kind of just letting all this shit happen to her. Like there's no sense of resistance, and I think there was a level of insight that she gave to Shuri where she had really, other than just random kindness, it seemed more like intentional that she's giving all this bolstering to Shuri in terms of her confidence and her demeanor to sort of change her, to mold her into the role that she had to be into the future. And even then, when Yaksha's having these visions, they purposefully don't allow him to kill the clan members. And I think that might have been because even if Jambavan had died, I think she would have wanted Yaksha to not have murdered them. Because I honestly believe that if nothing had... Because I think this dream fucked them in some way. I think if this dream had not fucked with Yaksha in any way, I think Hanuman's assertion that Yaksha wouldn't kill them would have been wrong. I think he would have actually murdered them.
Yeah, I agree with that. But so then the question is, do you think... So wait, so then what is your take on what the dreams actually are? Do you think that's Jamby like using like a mental transcendental?
It could be mental transcendental. I think it's possible it could also be
a body part that she left within somewhere that's special.
Well, there's the potentially dream tracking. I'm not sure if Suras are incapable of that or not, but it would be interesting to see if Jambavan had any usage of that.
I think Yaksha did kill them, and not to change the past. Yes, it's the case.
The ultimate point is that I just think Jambavan influenced the situation with Yaksha and Shuri because she knew she was going to die in some way.
That'd be interesting. I kind of like what was it? Who just said it? Pantanaga. That I could see it as he said that Anata literally changed the past to make Yaksha not kill him. Because I could see that he needs Yaksha to not go down that specific path of badness. Because if Yaksha does kill him and turns bad, wouldn't that change a lot of future interactions with Yaksha, even with Ran?
I think if that had been the case, I think Kurigama would have been more explicit about some Ananta influence.
Well, what about her saying the day you will stain these hands with blood may come?
Is not exactly
today, Yaksha. Do not
exactly
sin for my sake. That's why I'm not entirely sure that he did it, because there was a part where it said for a moment in his head, he had the vision of him slaughtering all of them, but it was a momentary fragment, like it was past in a second, you know. So I don't know, there's some, I know something in there is hidden. It's important. I'm just trying to extrapolate what something there's important.
That's why I think it's Jambavan, because that statement is it seems too purposeful.
Do you think that's why he does he does the sleep alone dream thing? Because that's his way of staying connected to her and maybe staying calm and not, I don't know, acting out in violent, belligerent ways.
So then, what would the thing she's referencing that when he is about to go, when he sins and bathes his hands in blood, what would that be?
I think it's likely before his death. I think it's possible when he went down against Chandra and Ashra, he may have murdered a metric shitload of Ashra clan members.
And sins in this are not they're not as black as white as they seem. You get some bullshit sins. So sometimes people be collecting them and they're not even there. So You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was Jambavan's request to Ananta. That's interesting. I do gotta say, I never expected to see Garuda. That was kind of shocking. And there's actually a moment that I like because I'm like, that was such a. I almost said Maruna isn't. I said, who's the original? Aruda. I felt like he had this moment where I'm like, where Hanuman was horny, like, oh no, it wasn't her, and he's like, it's obvious even without you telling. The way he did it and looked at him, it was so Maruna esque. I don't know. I don't know if you got that impression, but I love that moment. That was good. That was good. It kind of reminded me of he has four kids. It's kind of reminded me of.
I was only watching that video again today. It's the deadpan. He has 4 kids. That shit was so funny, man.
That's one of his best moments, honestly.
But, the way he just shut down Kaluinka is like, nah, bitch.
Yeah.
This is
so maybe Hanuman went to Yaksha first, and the result was Yaksha killing them, but then Ananta changed the past so that Hanuman goes to Garuda first. That's why both Hanuman and Yaksha have memories of doing these things. Ooh.
Okay. I guess the thing would be because I
honestly, God, don't think Ananta's involved at all.
Personally,
I guess the question is,
how
the fuck would Jamie know then, right? The only way she would have some level of future sight, she would have to interact. She would have to interact with some version of time, right?
Oracle is also an option.
You think she's talking to the god? Maybe. At this point, early in
the gods in Nastica weren't super unfriendly at this time.
What time period is this?
The beginning.
It's shortly after. It's not that long after the beginning.
Well, the reason I ask this is this before or so? This is, I would assume, before. Remember the moment that Shuri's like pretends to be a kid with that Rakshasa show? She's on the planet.
Yeah, I think so.
It's before that. We agree, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but now you were agreeing with the Ananta not being part of it thing.
Oh yeah, I don't think he's involved here, honestly. I wouldn't be shocked if he was. I'm not saying there isn't time shenanigans, but I don't think it has to be him. It could low-key be Vishnu, maybe.
It could be Vishnu. It could be Kelly. Yeah, I think it would have to be some version of time or something.
But something about the way he was going, having those visions or dreams or whatever, other premonitions and stuff, and she's like, "Yo, don't stain, your hand. Don't sin for my sake," stuff like that. Where it was almost like her final kindness to him, so he can stay good-hearted. It does seem like she knew more than she didn't know. But I don't know. It's tough because I'm like, did he actually like just murk them? Did he really just think it, or is like the part of me was like, is the feeling to do so intense that he keeps thinking that he did it but he didn't? I don't know. So I had like 800 thoughts in like a span of a minute. Now you'll see when I'm rambling in a couple weeks. Oh, let's hit the Patreon. You saw it already. When dealing with timey-wimey stuff, one must ask which time, when time, and why time. How time. It's before the past that Rand was in, he met Yaksha. Oh, for sure. We see Garuda questioning Ananta's abilities when he defends Maruna. Maybe this was one of the many instances that fueled his suspicion. I like that, I guess. I truly believe if Ananta was involved, there would be some type of very obvious clue, even if it was like not like, ooh, Ananta's hair off the screen. It would be some type of like implicit symbol or something, like something that you can pick up, whether it's visual or text form. Personally, I do.
That was my idea too.
Especially after what happened, we know a lot more about him now. So I don't think the need to maybe protect him or keep him super mysterious. We don't need that level of discretion anymore, I guess. So
yeah, you could literally do something like you did with Asha and his body that we saw, where he was just there, or even Lee's, where the thing with Lee's summoning him, or me and Miles and I all think it's Ananta and his name. There's like easily something you could do here if it was actually him.
wasn't just that Yaksha thought he killed them once. He thought it was over and over and over, so you could tell it's trial and error multiple times by Ananta until he found a better possibility. I'm not saying it's not possible. I love Yaksha, but as king, he is not close to my boy Ashura. I mean, I know Glam, you said that their clan's a little fraudulent. I don't know if you want to chime in on that or go into greater detail. But
Ashura clan is full of bums that just have to respawn a million times in order to do anything. So
I will say this: their not necessarily hierarchy, but their dynamic is weird and interesting at the same time because Shuri is their king, fam. Like Shuri is their king. And what Shuri's number 3 technically?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But she's the second king, right? Of the clan, or she the third king?
Yes.
No, it's the second because Hanuman's the third king, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the thing that I thought was interesting was just like not a single one of them seemed to have had any inclination that they did something wrong towards the very, very leader of their clan. They're all just like, "Mommy Shuri." Oh, I said that's crazy. Because if I was him, I might have. I promise you, I might have tried to understand. You're trying to be, be king. Be a tyrant. Just bully them. All right, it's like, why did you do it? Like, I'm trying to listen, and then I figure out it's because of this Shuri. Everybody would have died in an instant. Would have snapped right there. Would have snapped. No more clan, bro.
Yaksha was literally the strongest man in the room by a distance.
I agree.
Yeah, if I was Yaksha, I would 100%.
It's actually it is.
Garuda. Well, Garuda's strong.
Garuda's weaker than Ashura, and Yaksha's folding Ashura normally. So Garuda's getting packed up.
You don't know about those wings, bro. Not the rubbish. Not the rubbish wings. The real wings.
Wait. I want to say this. Garuda's actually stronger than Yaksha because he has the elemental advantage.
Oh my god.
That's only in the specific matchup, though. But Garuda's actually stated he could beat Yaksha in a fight. It's stated.
Oh my god, dude. Get out of here.
Because he has sky over water. Sky beats water. And they both share light.
I guess my question for you guys, I don't know if I ever asked you this. Do you see this? Do you see like if you take let's take the what do we 7 kings? How many clans are there? 7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 years already. Damn time. My God, Zodiac, the new and improved. I spoke to him in private. I mean, not air out what he told me, but appreciate you, my guy. I don't know. I don't remember what I was saying. I really don't.
7 clans. I assume you're gonna ask a question, power scaling wise or something.
Yes. So yeah, with the kings, right? So let's say well, I guess we could remove Anata because come on, but with everybody else, right?
Mm-hmm.
If number 2 could beat everybody on that list, but maybe loses to the weakest person, do you still consider them the second strongest because they win the majority of their matchups? Like, how do you look at that? Because sometimes when I'm doing it, I acknowledge that if I do a top 30, number 6 could lose to number 28, but he beats pretty much everyone else because that matchup specifically is terrible for him. The way that I would do a video game on fighting game tier list.
I look at it more as their overall ability. So if they lose to a tight matchup, it's probably not going to change. So what I would say when we're talking about the 7 kings, Anata's for sure de facto 1. I have Vitra at 2.
Female Vitra. Female Vitra. Ananta level.
That's whatever. And I think the next 5 are actually probably on the same level. And the winners would just depend upon matchup. The reason why Yaksha just folds Ashura is because he has light over darkness. He just has a type advantage. That's why he just folds him every time.
I think that's the case.
Times
the same way Garuda.
Effective.
Yeah, the same way Garuda beats fucking Yaksha.
It's just the case, personally.
I think it's for sure it is because we have 2 instances of that happening with Shuri folding Chandra and him folding Ashura.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he folded Ashura with bare hands though.
It looked like
He literally threw him into a planet and Ashura didn't do anything.
Yeah, but that doesn't. But we didn't see any what does that mean though?
He's way stronger than Ashura is with physical strength.
Yeah, but throwing people into planets doesn't mean shit because Ashura could also just throw people into planets.
He ain't throwing Yaksha into that planet. Ain't no way.
You don't think
said
Ashura could physically throw Yaksha to a planet?
I think Yaksha, despite his, and I think this is a trend you'll see, people with kind demeanors seem demonstrably stronger than a lot of these combat merchants in this story. And I think Yaksha is one of those examples. Shuri is also another example. Jambavan is probably another example when she was healthy. Kalavinka is another example. And Anta is a prime example. I think Yaksha for sure is the strong, and I think Yaksha is in a place between Ananta and Vitra and the rest of the kings where I think there's a noticeable gap between Yaksha and the other kings.
I would like to say so. I just don't know if that's the actual case.
Especially because, like, even there can be a statement made with, like, if in a full fight, if Garuda used all of his transcendentals and probably his sword in addition to that, he could beat Yaksha. I don't think that's easy for Garuda to do, if that is the case.
I think, I think it'd be close. Again, we literally don't have enough info on any of the kings. Like, a lot of them are strong. Like, who was I gonna say? Because, like, we know type advantages matters off the strength that Taksaka literally is considered basically equal to fucking Vitra. And he's the second king. We can't, like, say they don't matter when they obviously matter. They matter to the point that Vitra specifically goes out of his way to fight Taksaka all the time because Taksaka is, like, one of the few people that actually can give him a good fight.
Well, that giving him a good fight doesn't mean he's on the level, to be fair.
Come on, Glenn.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Glenn, if we're talking about in a series where powers probably not being, like, aren't that important, and we're having a top tier person saying, I want to fight you because you give me a good fight, and then the author literally saying he has a type advantage and Taksaka could beat Vitra.
How many of those good fights has Taksaka won?
We don't know.
And there it is.
But we know based off what Vitra says, and the author literally saying that Taksaka could beat Vitra, they're probably equal because of type matchups.
Also, wasn't the finite considered non-canon as well? Because I know that's where you're getting that info from.
No, it's like
no, that's not in the finite.
It stands for now until she might rewrite it later. So, like, I guess take it with
until she retcons it. It stands, and she said the specific thing about Taksaka outside of the finite.
And also with Vritra as well. Vritra's stronger in his female form as well.
But that doesn't matter because he doesn't have that shit anymore.
Hello?
I mean, now I'm just talking about in totality of what the characters could do.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I mean, do you think male Vitra isn't the strongest king still?
Now?
Yeah.
Well, now, yeah, he's confirmed strongest in the universe right now, apparently.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just making sure.
But, like, Taksaka is not. I don't think Taksaka is beating any king.
I agree.
That's
my point. That's my point.
You can give me a high
point, Glenn. You're agreeing to my point. Then he's not beating any king as a baseline, but because of his type advantage, he can compete with a specific king. That's my point. I'm saying type advantages helps people that are specifically way weaker combat people that are stronger.
That's why I acknowledge that Garuda would have a chance against Yaksha in a fight.
Yeah.
But having a chance against somebody in a fight and then losing every time is essentially what I'm saying.
No, I think he would beat him because I don't. Yeah, no, I just think he would beat him.
I don't.
I don't think if you're looking at the Seven Kings, I don't think she would make it that, like, each one is, like,
no, I just think it's
twice as strong as the previous one. I don't think so. I don't think she's made a point for Yaksha to be made as an anomaly to the degree of fucking Vitra nor Nada.
No, I don't even think it's that. I think there's, like, a gap between them. Because I think male Vritra and Yaksha are probably about the same. I think female Vritra is just different.
Okay, give me 1 sec. So, it wasn't Yaksha. I thought he killed him. Over at Lafi Yaksha was king, blah, blah, blah. I'm not as nice as Yaksha. They all died. Facts. I'm not a good person, so. I am not a good person. Kurgat said Garuda can be Yaksha. I guess I'm officially a furry now. Shout out to Sonic Fox. Was he wrong? No, he wasn't. Miles pulling up type advantage. Shake my head. He really said Garuda, I choose you. I'm on move. Uh-oh. Your subordinate's turning against you. Number 2.
Yep.
He's turning against you. For me, it's how many rounds you lose this. So if like 1 out of 3 doesn't matter. Okay, so you're like, if you win 6 out of 10, you're good. Like, I got you.
I'll also say, I think taking the author's word as law, especially in any series, but it's also in this one, I think is a pretty poor, like, it's a fallacy a lot of the time.
I think most cases it's pretty bad, but I think there's enough evidence in the story that usually agrees with some of her claims. Because there's some claims I don't agree with on her like Second King stuff that I don't agree with. But
Ashura is the next rank after Yaksha, despite the difference in their strength. Then comes Gandhi, of course. One-on-one styles come into play. I think physical strength is very subjective in Kubera. I'm not gonna say for sure someone can do things. Yaksha has the attitude advantage. Only thing I'm sure is that Anata is physically strong is because it's actually stated. Gandhi strong too because he had such high recovery. Taxaka could be Vitra, but it's very specific circumstances, so I'm not giving him that victory. He might win once, but all the other rounds Vitra would be the dog shit out of him. I feel it. Where was I?
I actually think there's a good chance that
Not even Ashura. I joined, but making dinner right now. We'll lurk though. Okay. Hold on. I remember Kurigam said somewhere that Vitra's defense is low, so someone could beat him before he had the time to use his phantomless fires. Okay, so
does he sleep?
Garuda beats Coma. That's crazy.
I was also gonna say I actually think it's possible Genharva might be stronger than Ashura if they actually like show the fight in there. I know.
No, that's actually for sure not true.
I know that the structure of the story right now says that Ashura is stronger, and I think that is the case. But I would not be surprised if something occurs that makes Genharva become second strongest.
I'll actually say that's completely wrong because in the flashback they even specifically made a point that like Gandharva's like his attack power is actually like the weakest out of the kings and like average him on Nastikas. The reason why he's ranked like as king and highly, this is weird because I actually kind of respect it and like it. Bullygom actually places regenerative like capabilities as equally as important as transcendentals and hand to hands.
Yeah, because his regen is
like those are the three things. Yeah. So his defense and regen being so great is why he's like ranked 5th. It's the same reason why.
I understand that. What I'm saying is that I think potentially something in the story could show that to be untrue at a certain point.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Because like I think it's possible Genharva may have abilities that he might not have even used before. To be honest,
that's true.
Understanding the totality of his name and also and maybe how. If he has a more kinder disposition, because I think Kurigam does this all the time, people that are nice in this story are OD strong as fuck for some reason. I think Asha is like really one of the few exceptions to that. You can look at humans, like you have Lees, you have Teo, you have Saha, all three of them completely like good-natured into people. Agni, strongest god by a mile.
They are Kuberas though.
OG Arivada.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think if Genharva actually does go down the path of like good, he might legit just have a power spike, and I think this applies to Maruna and Yuta too.
I think, especially when you're even talking about, as you said, like depending on like the name that he gained to destroy names, who's to say he even fully unlocked all the abilities that name can even grant?
That's what I'm saying. I think for now Ashra is, but I think there might be something in the story where Genharva just becomes absolutely fucking OD by the end of the story.
I agree with that. He probably should, based on potentially being the fucking savior.
Yeah, and being one of the main characters, to be fair.
Yeah.
The Big Bamba Gandhi's weekend a lot now, so you will never have that showcase.
And that guy. What is this new noises you're making? Stop.
I don't know.
It pleases me because he's a weak bitch. And John Harbaugh would like to drag it out and recovery and fight till the other one back down. No, I mean it's a good point to make that defense and recovery is important because you can stall out. You can stall out a fight. You can, you know, somebody might run out of stamina, and then you can, even though your attack potency isn't as strong, or whatever, blah blah blah, yada yada. Defense is, but I like defense matters to me because I'm a defense guy. So
like Glam, a good example is
tank lives matter. Okay, tank lives matter.
Glam, a good example is like, Kurigam has like a statement that she says like, I think Ravana is the strongest out of the second kings. I just don't believe that based off actual feats in the story. I just don't think it's accurate.
I think it's. I mean, after this chapter, I think it's likely that Jambavan may have actually been the strongest second king.
I agree. But I think outside of that, like from the feats
after this point, I think.
So what do you? So what's your thoughts on silent magic then? Because don't you have to argue that the silent magicians are maybe objectively not, I don't know, I'll say not good people. I guess I don't know if they gave up their emotions. I'm not
more like that they're losing their emotions. Like, nah, even when you know that, you wouldn't consider Saha. You would still consider Saha a good-natured man at the end of the day.
I would.
It's a nobody's Kingdom Hearts thing. We have no soul, but you have a heart. Like it was always there to begin with. I wonder if it's one of those weird things of like this is like awful. A weird reach, but you know how Lee's like pretends to be someone who she's not, or messes with her own memories and like lies to herself and creates like fake personas, so she basically has endless vigor. I wonder if Silent Magic is kind of like that, where like you're, I don't want to say pretending to lose your emotions, but you're tricking yourself into this new fake persona to gain these new abilities, and maybe your real personality never really left to begin with. So that's also possible. And we also don't know to what degree you're really losing emotions. Because as Glam said, Saha was still a nice person.
I'm using Silent Magic off rip. Stop playing with me. I'm not a good person.
Here we go. My name's Nyan. I don't feel emotions.
Oh, I forgot about Monaka too. Yeah, like I don't know, man. I think the statement that Ravana is like the strongest Nastican now is like, I think that's cap.
Yeah, and I think it's because she was rating her regent, because I think the point where she was like, I think Ravana can just outlast everybody. But I'm still just like, I really think Tasaka would just burn through all her shit, because even in the Finite, which isn't like canon, but Ravana literally pulls up with 8 other Nastikas, and Tasaka uses a Transcendental, which like I think makes some of them fight each other, and then just speed blitzes Ravana.
But that's why he kept Lorena around, to remind himself to hang on to his humanity. But I don't know if that, I don't know if you just comment in the comment, but I probably would argue that if he's able to still do that, that's why he stayed good. Like he never lost his humanity, even though he needed like a tether or whatever you want to call it. He still had that. He never went all the way in and lost that. The way maybe you could argue. I don't know if you want to argue Jabril did based on what Talbot said. I don't know how much you take his word at face value, but she was worried about like not feeling for her daughter. So I don't know. It depends. I'm just worried. 5, Patrick Beverly losing to 5-7.
Lol.
Listening to the Lords while getting my. Wait, yo. Okay. Oh, you're playing Elden Ring. Okay.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I think that Ravana statement's like hard cap. I think there might be 3 second kings that were stronger than Ravana.
Yeah, I agree.
Hell, there might be 4 if I include Mitsuki.
I think Ravana's. I can't remember. The only thing that it's always annoying to remember is which Nastikas actually benefit from going in their female form, and which ones like don't really have a difference in power. I can't remember if Ravana is like pretty much the same in both forms or not.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. At least I know for a fact Shuri's stronger in female form.
Hilarious.
I think Kanara is like equally strong in both.
Ritra has his female form that's broken for some reason.
Monaka was stronger in her male, actually like a lot stronger in her male. That's why everybody thought she was super weak. But go on.
No, go ahead, because I'm gonna switch topics. So keep going.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jambavan was stronger in her female form. Not gonna lie.
I could believe that. Or it's one of those things that maybe she needed that to do her specifically like body transfer.
King? I guess alive, maybe. I guess now.
Runa Maruna Garuda. But I was gonna ask. I wonder if this was just me. Maybe this was me taking the statement wrong. So I was actually surprised, because I wasn't here last week. I was surprised that Yaksha's mate was Jamby. Like I genuinely thought it was Shuri, because there was a statement by Hanuman. I think this is when Rand's around, when Yaksha's talking, and Hanuman's like, "Oh, you have to like stop talking like that way. That's the reason why the fox ran away from you." And he has like a really, really sad expression. And I'm like, oh, was he mates with Shuri and she left him for some specific reason? So then when we saw Jammy, I was like, oh, what? But I think that statement actually still holds strong because of what we see in this chapter, where because he didn't say anything, she did leave, and he probably feels bad about that to this day because he never went to like make amends. But I was just curious if either you thought like Shuri was
the words I never said.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. So I was just curious if you guys thought.
Sad. I think that there's always been some sadness from him directed towards her, because you see at the beginning of the side story.
Yeah, but I was
he and Jambavan both were like she's a pathetic creature because she knows nothing of true. I'm gonna assume it's because she knows nothing of what true love is at that certain point in time. Yeah, because she's always looking for like frivolous attachment for the most part.
Did you think that before this that Shuri and Yaksha were mates at all, or no?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, no.
Did you? I would no, but what if I would it be weird? Would it be weird if I said it wouldn't have shocked me if they just procreated though?
No.
I think it's heavily implied, or if not outright stated, that I think the only mate, which is like I think they're describing it in terms of when they say mate, like fucked. I think the only person he's ever actually had sex with is Jambavan.
That's what it seems like.
Okay. No, I'm just saying because like
I think they seem when they say mate, it usually seems like life partner. I think
sometimes I'd be
mate.
just slinging meat, you know. You gotta sling the meat. You gotta sling that Yaksha meat, bro. That Yaksha bone.
You are so fucking
Fist hit
toxic.
you till you go dead.
See, Keegan, I thought the same thing. I also thought Tati was Yaksha and Shuri's kid because she's a wolf and she looks to seem to have like blue fire around her, which I took to be the fighter element of Shuri.
I don't think she's either's kid at this point. I'm not gonna lie.
I kind of agree now because I saw blue fire. I'm like, okay, blue because of water element from Yaksha and then fire from the fire element of Shuri, and she's a wolf. And I can't remember if she's always was with Shuri, but I can't remember if I took that as her mom, but there was a dialogue piece I'm missing. But yeah, now it's just like, I guess Tatsi's just an old member of the clan that, was always with Yaksha.
It's also said that Shuri
I guess, dang, I wish Yaksha and Jamby had a kid, though.
Fifth stage Utah, sixth stage final boss. I thought that was Shuri and Yaksha's kid, but it might prove me wrong. Yeah, mate's life partner to me. Fifth stage, because it can't fuck anyone. Yes, sir. Plus belligerence of Shuri. Poot, Yaksha. That's, I mean, I don't know. I guess with me, mate makes sense. Like, yeah, like lifelong partner, you guys stay together forever. But I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure you have to, like, if he has legitimate descendants, I know he has to have some kid somewhere. So I just like maybe he slapped Shuri for the one time. But other than that, I never got the impression that they were legitimately a couple. That was one of those things that I thought the community was pushing more than the story was, and because it makes sense, and there's a lot of circumstantial evidence, you just want to believe it.
Well, no, but nobody knew that Shuri wasn't the second strongest of the clan. Yes, anyways.
There's that too. That's a good point. That's a new revelation. But before I forget, with Tatia, how long do you think with the pink background to the blue background? How long do you think passed since like do you think that's approaching the time? Actually, wait a minute. Was Tatia around with Hanuman when Rand came that first time?
Yes.
No.
Wait. No.
And the other side of the story, which means
it was Peptupula.
The Taraka half one.
The chaos. The chaos.
Yeah, chaos one.
Because Tatia is around when but at least at some point in Tatia's, like, I don't know if it's from the get-go or whatever, Tatia is aware that Yaksha's like attachment to Rand kind of gave him a more hopeful out. You know what I'm saying? So I was trying to discern how long of a gap that was. So I guess originally. Go ahead.
I don't know. Because I think it's before Shuri becomes friends with Vishnu, because then they're talking about how she's treating with the primeval gods. I think Shuri has been around, honest to God, since before Maruna was born. To be honest, like I think actually Tatia is much older than I think a lot of people thought that she was, because I think most people thought that she was relatively like maybe like a middle-aged Rakshasa. Because she's still only 4th stage, right?
Yeah, she's only 4th.
Yeah, so the time gap between the two. I'm trying to remember. Because it depends on how long Vishnu and it had to have been before. Oh my God, what was the event? Honest to God, Naya, I think that moment with Yaksha and Tatia talking is before Ananta's death. Like maybe even well before.
I guess that makes sense. I was more so discerning when Rand came into the timeline, not Ananta specifically, but
we don't know when
probably makes sense.
Yaksha died, right? We don't know his date, right?
No,
You know the year
as
at
far as
least,
I recall.
or
I don't remember.
I can't. He dies before Nada dies.
I like that she with Rand and Shuri
Right?
more now. I feel it.
I thought he died after.
I like Tatia actually. I like Tatia. I do.
I do like Tatia.
Did he die after Nada?
I thought he died after Ananta, Niles. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I think he died before. Actually, I think he did. I don't know. I think he died before, right?
Because wasn't that a whole thing that because he wasn't there, the Nada shit was worse than what it was.
I don't remember.
Because he would have definitely stood to protect Nada if he was around. Because I think that was the whole point. Like Yaksha's gone, so the Yaksha clan wasn't like an actual steadfast ally.
I don't recall.
That sounds
plausible to me, but I don't remember.
Tatia had an elder sister who was a young Raksha a long time ago. Tatia is an extremely old Raksha. She was even present for the death of Yaksha and was informed about circumstances of his death. Likewise, she remembers times when Willarth did not even have cities yet from the wiki. She lived to see Tatia, so maybe Tatia is around 10,000, 2,000 years old. You guys didn't really know. You want to lose me? Numbers. It's easy to lose me.
Her sister is the one that met Maruna and Rand way back.
Was the one that was with Shuri on that one planet.
Yeah, but she's dead now. She got murked off screen.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, you think Soros? I'm joking.
All right.
Lol.
All right, dude. Relax, okay? Wait, Naya, who is your favorite first king?
Actually, wait. Before we go further, because I almost forgot this, I want to say it. It was about the kid point Naya was making about how Yaksha has some kids. I'm actually willing to bet that he actually doesn't have any children. But I think for him, what let him keep going is that I think Rand fulfilled that son figure.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think
you think Rand he legitimately never procreated, eh?
I agree with Clem on that.
And I think Rand having his heart is Yaksha's way of viewing Rand as almost like a son to an extent.
I agree with Glam 100% on that, actually.
Damn, they call Yaksha a virgin. He never got no cheeks, fam.
He did get cheeks.
Get it up.
He was impotent. That was
his pullout game was just elite, bro.
Facts. You know what? We'll do that.
Now his kid though, if they did have a kid, werebear kid, his kid would have been going crazy.
Werebear is fucking raw. I don't know why.
Yeah, if him
no, why I like Werebear. Werebear's moving me. I need that now. Do the Werebear countdown.
No, that's a real prince right there.
Yeah, if him and Jambavan had a child, that kid would be OD.
Tatia close enough to Yaksha, so she won't be able to go to the planet where he died, so she must have been around. I think Tatia
you'll probably be at least as strong as like
Shuri and Hanuman. Okay. Well, not to Vitra, but Yaksha probably don't have kids. Oh, yeah, I don't think that's your question. My favorite first king. Yeah, I just want to shout out my Vitra just because of the clan. Because I am. But the problem is, I technically haven't seen much, so like I don't wanna. I will.
We'll both still chill regardless.
That's my real answer, but based off what I've seen in the story, Anata.
Okay.
And I like Anata. He was moving me.
Me and I will always put our capes on for Vitra.
So you're just bandwagons for strong people. Got you. Okay,
we're bandwagons. I see
that.
No, we're bandwagons for fire-breathing lizards with wings. That's what we're bandwagons.
I'm trying to remember the line to ARAB. If ARAB, I'm trying to remember it. When it comes to me, I want to say it, but it has nothing to do with dragons.
Yes, sir.
I like dragons. Like, let's say there was a Phoenix clan, I would have been Team Phoenix way over the dragons. There's a hierarchy of like mythical animals that I kind of like, mythical creatures, if you will, and Phoenix and dragons are at the top of that list. I used to like griffins a lot when I was a lot younger.
Elevink is your closest thing.
No, Venata is his
Venata, yeah.
Venata, I was about to say, like, Venata, I mean, and she's fine as well.
You don't want what you ask about when it's beef. I open fire like a dragon mouth. Rah, Dungeon Dragon.
Shout out Vritra, but you hate to see that he's probably going to get Shivad, as me and Naya said.
You know what though?
No, he's
no. Let me say this. It's Dragon Clan all the way. So that's the real answer. I'm gonna give it 1A, 1B though. I want to give Garuda credit. I like Garuda. All right, fuck what everyone talk about. He weak. He this and that. Blah blah. He can't beat the coma. Listen, I like Garuda. Garuda's moving me, and I always respect the way he stepped to Anata. I don't know what it was about it. I just liked his entire demeanor, and I even liked him with this chapter. I like Garuda. All right.
No, you can't do that. You can't.
I can do that. I'm still putting Anata over him, but I like Garuda.
Glam, you want to know how Nai's a fraud?
How am I a fraud, man?
Talking about, I like how Garuda stepped up to Anata. When that was his main reason for why saying Jack the Drought is trash, because he kept stepping up to people he shouldn't be stepping up to. Since when did you tried it? You tried it. Since when? That's what
you get. Not this is the Dustin take that I don't like.
Yep.
Because there's a hyperactive knucklehead that I like in series B. I must like them in series A, F, G. No, the context is different. No. I don't have to like that. The storytelling style and everything is different. I could take everything case by case. But with that being said, it's one thing if Garuda was like, "Yo, I'm gonna fight you, I'll beat your ass," and he got clapped. I'm like, "You fucking idiot!"
There it is.
Right? Jack was like, "I'm gonna go take back Dofi." Yeah, alright.
Who was he beat? Who's Garuda beating?
He's never fought anybody.
He hasn't fought anybody really.
He's never fought anybody.
That we've seen.
He didn't fight. He fought Ashura. We saw him fight Ashura. Okay.
When? Really?
When did this happen?
They clash. Yeah.
Oh my god.
They clash. He's a clash.
Is this
we took her to sleep through the whole story, and that's raw. I like him too.
Wait. Is this a series? Is this? No. Let's be honest. Is this a series of clashes or fights? Let's be honest here.
Fights.
Is this a series of clashes or fights?
I saw Maruna and Ran throw ungodly hands.
Yes, there we go. We got him.
How long?
We got him, ladies and gentlemen.
Who won that fight then? Who won it?
Maruna.
Since it's such a fight, who won it?
It was indecisive. But Maruna would have won. That is true.
Maruna.
That fight specifically?
He would have won if it kept going.
Garuda fought Ashura on D500. Did I see that? I don't remember. I saw that. Maybe you guys are right. I don't know.
There was no full fight that I recall, but
I'm with At the end of the day, the point that I'm trying to make still stands. I don't care about.
I'm just being a dickhead.
I know, but my point is, I don't have to like the same thing in every series. I don't.
Yeah, like I'm really not pressed. I really like. This is not a fight. I really.
That is a legitimate criticism I get a lot of the time. Oh, Luffy did that shit. You'd have liked it. I'm like, because I'm like, I don't like Asta. Asta and Luffy are the same to me. Leave me alone. Dustin used to always do that shit to me, and I'm like, this is not a good argument.
Yeah, I'll say to answer the first king question. To answer the first king question, it's Yaksha for me.
Did I ask you?
I'm answering. You don't have to ask. I'm inserting. Self-insert, bitch. Now sit down, shut up, and listen.
Oh, travel! Sorry,
but I'll say for Naya's like Garuda point, I agree with the stance to a certain extent. I got to see more Garuda before I can really have an opinion. I like the moment with Ananta. I just got to see more. And to be honest, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I actually don't think he's the weakest king, and I'll stick by that.
Okay.
Wait, who do you think is the weakest?
Kinara. Female tax.
My thing is, I'm not
mad
at you saying that. It's just I genuinely have to see. I think we just literally need more info on the specific like shit of how much power did Arivata take, and did Kinara reclaim all her power and then some, or just like I think we need a little bit more specifics on all that power transfer shit. I actually think I might have her over.
I got a question.
I think Kinara's a sleeper.
Is Garuda's sword that he has that Yuta has now, is that technically like a god level item?
It is a god level item.
Or a nasty god level item.
It's made by a god. It's not part of him.
Yeah, I'm just saying that might turn the tide a little bit. That's all I'm saying. Do we even know who made that?
I would assume Callie. I would assume. Because I can't remember. I don't remember at what point. Fuck, I'm trying to remember. Because I don't know if we see him have the sword before D500.
Really no, because that's Garuda. Because Garuda had that sword before.
Did he have it he was with. No, he had it when he was around. He had it
when he pulled up on
D1000.
He had it when he pulled up on it.
Which is D1000, right?
Yeah. I don't know who that sword belongs to.
Bro, why do you play like that,
sir?
And I don't know because I don't know if he wouldn't have procreated with Callie yet. So then I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who that sword belongs to.
Please.
Maybe Brahma. You know how Brahma be making items for people.
Please, this man is a goon.
Maybe Brahma. Well, I was gonna say, do you guys
making an item doesn't necessarily mean it's a god level item dedicated to her, because we see that with the Sword of Agni. Like that's technically his god level item.
Yeah, true.
Quick, what did you guys think at the end of the chapter?
I thought it was amazing.
Like the way, like the end of it, like the way it ended with him sleep, and he's like, it did like how.
Yes, I thought it was.
Okay. All right.
Loved it.
I thought it was amazing. Are we serious?
Are you
serious?
My
favorite part of the end of the chapter. My favorite part of the end of the chapter was the notes where it said Garuda would have packed Shuri's ass up if she had tried anything. That's what I. That's
of course.
Yeah, because she's about to go crazy, and then he's like, "Hey, yo, chill out."
I got 6 wings.
Relax.
She's getting packed, Miles. Suffer.